hope, help, and healing. With a hint of humor, Hashimoto'sHealing.com. Hey people, I'm Mark Ryan, licensed acupuncturist and herbalist from Hashimoto'sHealing.com. And welcome to my series on QiGong, which is a gentle movement and breathing exercise, which I've chosen because I think it can be really, really helpful for those of us with Hashimoto's, because it's very therapeutic and very gentle, and it helps create energy and healing without exhausting you like some other forms of exercise. So it's really perfect for us. The form I want to teach you about is called the Golden 8. And the Golden 8 was first taught to me by a woman named Merle Morgan Drennan in a medical Qigong class I took at Emperor's College in Santa Monica, California. Merle's a student of Master Hong Yu, who taught her the form. And he's a Qigong master, and his story is chronicled in the book, The Healing Art of Qigong. It's really a terrific book. I recommend it. I know and practice many different forms of Qigong and different exercises, but I really like this one called the Golden 8 because of its simplicity, and it's really quite easy to learn. So I thought it'd be a great one to teach you guys. I had the good fortune over the years of studying with quite a few different Qigong masters. Back when I was younger and impressionable and living in New York City as a young man after I graduated from Cornell, I studied with a couple people who are pretty well known actually internationally. One T.K. Shi, another is Mantak Chia, who started the International Healing Tao organization. And I can remember, I had some real fond memories of studying with Mantak Chia. And at that time, he's become quite well-renowned. He's got a place in Thailand now, but at that time he was just starting out in the United States. And he had a small apartment in Chinatown in New York City. And myself and a few other people had the good fortune of studying with him. And I remember being in a class in August. I don't know if you've ever been to New York in August, but it's really hot and humid. And we were down in his apartment. He was teaching us some Qigong, and he actually taught us this Tai Chi form that he'd taken the traditional Tai Chi form and adapted it to a New York City apartment. So we could actually do the Tai Chi form in a very small space. It was really cool. But we were there studying Tai Chi and Qigong with him, and he shared some amazing exercises, and the experience was really memorable even to this day. It was almost 30 years ago, and I remember it like yesterday. And one of the wonderful things was that, it was a tremendous transference of energy working with him. The only problem was it was New York in August, so it was really, really hot. So we generated all this energy, but we were all sweaty and having fun. But it was a great experience. And I want to show you a poster that I bought from him many years ago that really shows the energy pathways in the body. And part of what we want to do with Qigong is to really cultivate our energy. And of course with Hashimoto's, one of the challenges is for a lot of people is fatigue. And if we can cultivate and build some of that internal energy, then we can utilize it in times when we're really feeling exhausted and run down. So it's a wonderful form. So let me show you this. Here's, you can see here that there's two, you see these black circles? They're traveling from down here at the bottom part of the body, is the perineum, and they go up the back to the top of the head. There's a point at the top of the head called byway, the 100 meeting point. And that's a very important point with Qigong. It's actually a meeting point of a lot of different acupuncture meridians. It's thought traditionally to be how we connect to heaven. As you practice Qigong, you can actually feel that point vibrate. And you can see the energy also travels down the front of the body. You see those circles go down, goes down, and all the way back again to the perineum. And it kind of goes in a circle up and down all over your body. And this right here is called the dantian. This is an energy point in the center of the body, and this is really a place, kind of a storehouse of energy, called the lower dantian. I'm going to talk more about that in a moment. I think that's a terrific poster. In doing Qigong and in general, I suggest doing the exercises I'm going to show you a minimum of 3 times once per day. And if you have issues in particular areas, it's recommended that you increase that number to 2 or even 3 times a day. So we're going to start out with the warm-up of the Golden 8. And we're actually going to look at 3 different things. There's the warm-up, the Golden 8 itself, and what's called the completion. And every one of these can be done as exercises on their own. You don't have to do the whole sequence. You can choose one part and just do that. And sometimes, if you're pressed for time, or if you're something, as I was just saying, if you're working on some particular part of the body, you can just focus on that one thing. If you want to do the entire form, it usually takes about from 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how many times you do it. So just make sure you budget your time for that. In each section, I'm going to talk about different aspects of how we can apply this to Hashimoto's and utilize it for specific things. So the first part is the warm-up. And the warm-up is very important prior to starting the Golden 8 movements because it activates the flow of Qi in all parts of the body. And it's also really good for relieving stress. The warm-up may also be done by itself to promote energy circulation at any time of the day. So if you're feeling down or if you're feeling like you need a boost, this is a great thing to do. And the warm-up starts in the dantian. Remember, I was just showing you that. The dantian is a term for energy centers in the body. There are actually 3 of them. The lower dantian, the one I showed you, is located just below the abdomen, about 2 inches below the navel. It's really, really important for the Golden 8. And when you see a reference, or you hear me talk about a reference to the dantian, it usually means this lower dantian. There are also a couple others, what's called the middle dantian, which is located here in the heart center, and the upper dantian, which is here between the eyebrows. The warm-up also focuses on the kidney area, slightly above the waist on both sides of the spine. So in the first part, we want to awaken the Qi in the channels. And these warm-up movements help to activate or awaken these energy channels in the body. What you do is this tapping. You're going to tap, tap, tap against your body. And one of the things this is really useful for is promoting the flow of lymph fluid in the lymphatic system. And many people with Hashimoto's have chronically inflamed lymph glands. So this can be a terrific exercise for really draining that lymphatic fluid. When you're tapping on the trunk, you want to start with your feet shoulder width apart and let your arms hang down at the sides of your body. Make sure you relax your body, especially your neck and shoulder muscles. Don't tense them up, relax. And you want to initiate the movement by shifting your weight from side to side and turning the waist and the pelvic area to cause your arms to swing. And with loose fists, you want to gently tap the area below your waist, just below the level of your navel. In the front and the back, this area we call the lower dantian. And the gentle weight shift, or the rocking from side to side, helps give momentum to the swing of your arms. And continue tapping on the trunk lightly, and gradually moving your fists up in kind of a V pattern up to your shoulders. And then gradually down the same path, returning to the lower dantian and repeating a few more times. And your breath during all of this, you basically just want to breathe naturally and deeply. You can breathe through your nose and out your mouth. Just natural, deep breathing. The second part is tapping the trunk and the arms. You want to start with your feet shoulder width apart, making a loose fist with your right hand, and lift and extend your left arm and tap from the navel up under the arm, the shoulder, to the neck, down the shoulder, down the inside of the palm, back up the outside of the arm, along the shoulder, and neck. And then again, you want to repeat that with the other side of the body. Coming up, down, back up, and up to your neck. And the breathing here should also be just breathing deeply and naturally. Don't force it. The next part is tapping on the back and legs. You want to start with your feet wide apart, the width of the horse stance. The horse stance is slightly wider than the basic standing form, which there you're standing about shoulder width apart. With the horse stance, you're a little wider than shoulder width, kind of about hip width apart. A very strong, stable stance. Your knees are bent, your chin's tucked in slightly, got the string pulling up the top of your head, tongue at the roof of your mouth. Bend your knees. The lower you go, the more strenuous it is, so don't overdo it if it hurts or if it's too much, but as you progress and as you practice, you can keep going a little bit lower, and really strengthen and engage your legs. It's an excellent, simple exercise for building leg muscles. Make sure your legs are straight, and making loose fits with the hands. Bend forward at the waist and tap the back of your fists and move along your kidneys, moving up the spine, circling a few times. Continue tapping with the inside of your fists, along the sides of the buttocks, down the outside of your legs, down to your ankles, and then switch to the inside of your ankles and tap up the inside of the legs to the connection of the legs to the trunk. Those are the ligaments on each side of the crotch. And bring your feet into shoulder width apart and tap on the inside with loose fists against the connection of the legs and the trunk, alternating with the legs straight and bent, straight and bent, straight and bent, giving a upward down tapping motion with the rhythm of the tap. And again, you want to breathe deeply and naturally. One thing here, there's a couple points. There are a lot of lymph glands right there in the groin, so tapping on them, stimulating them, is helping to drain those and to help promote lymphatic flow and lymphatic drainage. And up here too, when you were tapping in the chest, there are a number of lymph glands that we want to tap along here. Next part we want to do is just kind of gently loosen up the shoulders. You can do this by swinging your arms forward and gently opening up your shoulders. You can do circles backwards, circle forward. Really open up those shoulder joints. Again, inhale and exhale, breathe naturally. From there, we want to loosen up the joints. Very important to open up all the major joints in the body and allow the qi to pass through them. When this is done as part of the Golden 8, these movements work with your qi in your channels, and therefore they have more specific benefits because you've already opened all this stuff up. So there's a few of the movements here in the warm-up that are optional, but I really think you should open every joint up. So I suggest you do all of them. The next one we're going to do is turning the neck. Start with the heels together and your hands together. Men place their right hand underneath the left hand. Women place their left hand underneath their right hand. You want to place the thumb of the upper hand inside the thumb of the lower hand, like that. And the first joint of one of the fingers of the upper hand over the side of the big knuckles of the little finger of the lower hand. So like this, like that, I have my thumb in there. And keeping the neck relaxed, Slightly bend the upper body and shoulders to allow gravity to roll the head gently and slowly to the left, back to the right, in front of the clavicle, and around. So in a gentle circle. And you want to do that several times. I recommend 3 times in each direction. And then reverse, go back the same way. And the breathing here, we want to inhale as your head circles back and exhale as it circles to the front. These joint warm-ups are very helpful if you have joint pain or joint-related issues. And if you do have joint pain, you want to make sure you do these very slowly and gently. Don't force it. Don't do them too fast or too hard. Okay, the next one is turning the shoulders. We talked about this a bit earlier, but I want to show you again. Just keeping the arms relaxed. Lift the left shoulder and turn the waist to roll the shoulder from front to back. You can go in the other direction. And then the right shoulder. And reverse. You can also do big shoulder rotations. Lift the arm on the left side straight up and the shoulder, rotate it down. Go back the other way. Reverse direction. Repeat on the other side. With the breathing here, again, inhale when circling up and exhale when circling down. Inhale, up, exhale when you go down. The next one is the elbows. Place the right hand over the elbow area in front of the left arm, hanging down to your side. Keeping the hand loosely over the elbow area. And bend the left arm at the elbow, turning it towards the inside of the body, and circle it back away from the body in this direction. Reverse direction, and switch to the other arm. Go the other way. Repeat that on both sides. Again, get your elbows moving in both directions. Inhale when circling up, exhale when circling down. With the wrists, we want to make sure we open up our wrists. Nice exercise here is like, imagine that you're holding a stone in your hand and turn your wrist around and keep holding that stone up. Keep it up. Keep it up. Don't drop it. Turn it all the way around. Don't drop it. Go in the reverse direction. Don't drop that stone. Don't drop it. And repeat that on the other side. Stone in your hand. All the way around. 3 times on each side. Really nice. Really opens up those wrists. And once that's done, you want to just shake out your arms. Really just gently shake the hands, shake the arms, shake them out, shake them out. Really let everything go, let all the tension go. Great. And make sure you breathe deeply and naturally. Then we get down to the waist. We've done all this upper body, now we want to do the waist. Turning the waist is very important. I want to open that up. Start with your feet wide apart in the horse stance. Okay, keep your legs straight. And you're going to go in a circle. Imagine that you're inside a barrel. And you're going around the edge of the barrel. Circle all the way around to the right, bend forward a little, then reverse direction, go back all the way around the barrel. And for breathing, inhale when circling back, and exhale when circling to the front. Now there's a second one where we want to circle our hips. This time, bring your feet together. Place the palms of your hands over your kidneys. Your kidneys are really right at the bottom of your rib cage in your back. Put your palms there. Rub them a few times to warm them up. And keeping your palms over your kidneys and your head upright. And push your hips forward, to the left, back, to the right. Again, imagine you're inside a barrel and you're going all the way around that barrel. And circle 3 times in that direction. And then reverse 3 more times. And straighten up. That feels really good on your low back. And for breathing, make sure you exhale as the hips circle forward and inhale as they go back. Next one is the knees. With your knees, you want to start with your feet close together, bend forward at the waist, and rest the hands on your knees. You can slightly rub the knees to warm them up, and make a circle by bending the knees to the left, then in front, to the right, then straighten them. Repeat that 3 times, and then reverse direction. To the right, to the left, and then straighten them. Around a circle. Again, kind of imagine that you're inside a little barrel, and go all the way around that barrel. After that, you want to make circles by bending the knees forward and separating them, opening them up, moving them to each side, and then circling them back. So you open and bring them back. Open and bring them back. Again, 3 times. And then reverse the direction of the circles. Repeat that 3 more times. And the breathing here, again, exhale when the knees bend down, and inhale when they straighten up. From the knees, we go down to the ankles. Want to lift your left foot, rotate it at the ankle several times in one direction, alternate pointing and flexing the foot, then shake it and loosen up your ankle. And do the same on the right. Rotate it around, alternate pointing and flexing, move around, shake it out. Shake both of them. Another option for the ankles is you can place the left foot at an angle behind you, the ball of your foot on the ground and the heel in the air, and turn the foot ankle in big circles, and then reverse direction. It's another option for doing it if you have trouble balancing with the first one. While you're doing these, you just want to breathe deeply and naturally. Okay, so that's the warm-up. We've done all the joints of the body, tapped on the torso and hit those spots that have major lymphatic glands to help move the energy and move lymphatic fluid through the body.
Hashimoto'sHealing.com